I've had the misfortune of sometimes closely interacting with some very famously corrupt people right now in the country. They're shocked that you're saying, you're complaining, after all I become a minister, shouldn't I make some money? What are you talking? When I really looked at them closely, what I saw was the national parties. How to join these parties, both are a mess. There are these issues, but it is very, very important. If we value India as a nation, it's very important. Say, we need to understand India. The problem is, we are trying to look at India through a Western education window. Right now, all the educated Indians, somewhere there is one window of Western education, rest of it is total chaos. And we like chaos. We are a colorful mess. As long as you're not trying to work with somebody, Indians are fine. Because everybody is a genius by himself. But you can't organize a genius and get results. By themselves they're good. You try to put them together, there's a big problem. So what India is why it is like this is, I already mentioned this in passing. One thing is, India does not have beliefs and India has never had moral code. See, every other nation has strict moral code, people feel guilty about certain things. An Indian can just do just about anything very happily. Do you understand? I've had the misfortune of sometimes closely interacting with some very famously corrupt people right now in the country. When I really looked at them closely, what I saw was, they did not even think they're doing something wrong. So your ideas of morality, ethics, they're shocked that you're saying, you're complaining, after all I become a minister, shouldn't I make some money? What are you talking? I'm saying they're not even… they're surprised that you people are complaining because India has never had a moral code, but still people remained in a certain way because there was a spiritual ethos. People told you, everything is your karma, whatever you do, there will be a consequence. And people stirred up certain other dimensions within you. Every generation had people who would stir up this possibility of consciousness within you. We operated out of continuous stirring up of consciousness, never morality. Now we have come to a place where in the last few hundred years or few generations, nobody has come, I won't say nobody, not enough people have come to stir up consciousness. And consciousness has gone low, no morality, we are between the two cultures, we are falling in the gap. We have lost our way of keeping ourselves in check, but we still cannot take on Western way of strict morality. And we are falling in the gap in between, that's where we are. See, right now, it's seriously happening, like you said yesterday's election results and everywhere else, whether it's Bengal or UP or Tamil Nadu or wherever else. Gradually in India, there is no party which you can call as national party. All regional parties. As regional parties becoming more and more powerful and they sweep the state and national parties are completely routed, I'm not trying to pitch for them because there is nothing to defend them, okay? But whichever way, whatever they may be, for the long-term interest of the nation, it's very important two or three national parties must become strong. Otherwise, after 25 to 50 years, we will wonder, why are we one nation? Suddenly one chief minister will become prime minister. A chief minister who is chief minister for 10 years and frustrated with his chief ministership wants to become a prime minister. When he sees there is no other way to become a prime minister there, he will become a prime minister here. Yes. And already some serious attempts in this direction have been made in the past in certain states. If we value India as a nation, it's very important that we must strengthen the national parties. How to join these parties? Both are a mess. That is a real problem, what to do. But what we need to understand is, there is people, there are parties, and there is administration. In Indian mind, these three things are distinctly separate. This distinction should go. There is no people, party and administration. There is people, people and people. This is what a democracy means. People who are sitting here in this chair, tomorrow could be walking the street campaigning for a party, day after tomorrow they could be in that chair. This is what democracy means, that you are here today, tomorrow you could be there. So this distinction has to go. These are all easier said than done, to remove these distinctions, to make people understand, because how many people can you even talk to in this country? Because you know only 2 languages. Yes? Maybe I know 3 languages, but how many people will you speak? There are 16, 24 languages in the country. Who are you going to speak? Who are you going to leave out? So there are these issues. But it is very, very important. However corrupt, however nonsensical, however rubbish it is important to strengthen 2 or 3 national parties, otherwise there will be no India after 50 years, there will be many countries.
Sadhguru, I actually entirely agree with you, and Lok Satta and I have been always articulating the need to strengthen national parties. The tragedy is they are their worst enemies. So we do require to transform politics. That's why I was so repeatedly pleading that
I don't
unless
blame you
we
at
find
all.
an answer…
I wouldn't like to join any national party because we know what's happening and the way it's conducted.
So how do
but that is the reality of our nation.
But unless we transform them, that's the reason why I'm pushing this today, unless the pressure comes from the spiritual gurus, from the civil society, from media, that the need of the hour is not merely replacing one with the other, but actual transformation of the nature of politics and building a framework for the unity of India. I entirely agree with you. So
I'm privately, not publicly, not announcing to people,
whatever it…
giving them that privacy. Privately, we are slowly trying to transform many political leaders in the country. We have successfully worked with a few people, others are slowly coming in. But it's still a long process, it's not something that will happen overnight. And India, a country like India cannot be turned around overnight. If we work as a generation of people, maybe we'll leave a little better country for the next generation. That's where we need to look at.